Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon, and today we're going to be coaching an Urgot jungle player with, you can see, a very weird build. He's pretty much a one-trick. He says he kind of just mostly likes playing this champion for fun, as you'll kind of see him explain. And so we're coaching him, trying to help him get better at his one-trick. Initially, we talk about the build stuff, kind of bit weird. Like I said, I don't really play Urgot. I'm not pretending to know the build exactly. He says he doesn't want to do Heartsteel and Hydra, so we try to figure out, a build that's a bit better for jungle, having still like some damage in it rather than this unique build that he's doing here. So that part I don't claim to like. I don't encourage you guys to learn from what we talk about with the build stuff, because that's not what is important. The macro side of the coaching and everything is more like what you could learn from. But also, I think this is good to show you guys, like, you can kind of climb on whatever. I mean, he's like master with this, it's not bad. And you can climb really with whatever it is that is fun for you or that you enjoy playing, rather than having to play, the most meta things. Ultimately, if you play well, that's going to matter a lot more. Also, if you decide to flame in the comments because he plays an off-meta champion, you're cringe. And yeah, if you guys are interested in getting coached from a rank 1 solo queue player, as well as a 4-role sovereign, close to 5-role sovereign, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description to any of my YouTube videos. $25 an hour for coaching, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna promise to make a YouTube video, because if
That's okay.
it's
That's okay if
useless
you.
information, I won't. But I will.
No,
Most
I
likely.
want I want to climb with my character and play style, if that makes any sense. But I'm not
Yeah.
gonna let it tilt me if I don't get to a high rank. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Already
You're
know I'm
Urgot like one trick, right?
lowest rated. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm already know I'm playing one of the lowest rated characters on any tier list. I used to do it with pre-rework Aurelion Soul and
Mm-hmm.
get to really high ranks, with bad rated characters. So I'm not mad at whatever rank I get. I just want to take whatever tips I can get from a better player, obviously.
Okay. Sounds good. And yeah, you're Urgot one trick, right? Oh.
Yes. I can go to my champion stats or history. These are my stats right now
Mhm.
for rank. Terrible, I know.
You don't need
Ch-
to say those things. It's pretty normal. Like, your stats are pretty normal. Yeah.
I play a lot of champions, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but mainly you see 811 games compared to like the next most. Like, is this season? No, I set it to this season. Okay, yeah, this season I got 193 Urgot games specifically.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on my gold per minute, but I feel like the fact that I'm playing a tank jungler, no matter if I build damage or not, like, I get outpaced by every other jungler. Obviously, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm handicapping myself using a non-jungler, but I want to get some tips on getting my GPM up with Urgot.
Okay. Yeah. We'll focus on that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not gonna know like the
Unless you see me
best.
playing.
I mean, your build is bad. Like, I don't know
I
if
know
you're
I
like.
don't. I use different builds. I look. It goes from Black Cleaver. It depends on the taste of the month. All the builds are bad on Urgot. So my synopsis on Urgot. He can't build crit items, obviously, because his W purge cancels crits. You don't crit with W. You can't build bruiser items because they're all range handicapped. For example, his main build that's suggested is Titanic Hydra and Heartsteel. They're both handicapped by range. His W handicaps on hits, so you're doing no damage with Urgot unless you build, weird.
Does Urgot count as range? I don't know how long.
Yes, he's a ranged champion and he gets damage penalty with every bruiser item, every item he get the range penalty, which makes no sense. He also gets fucking
His
penalty for building tank because he's not actually a tank. So, and he can't
either
build crit.
way, either way.
What you
So are you just with the build, just doing whatever you feel like, and you have no interest in like doing a good build,
I
or?
want a good build, but I don't feel like there's Bruno. I'm sorry, my dog is jealous that I'm talking to you and not him. I'm sorry
Mhm.
about that.
You're fine.
Let me lock him in the room. Okay. So with the builds, I want to find the optimal build, but there's literally not really any good items until next patch. I feel for Urgot,
Okay, so why are you building these items?
there's not much to build, and I don't know what to build on him. I'm
Okay,
figuring it out.
go to the leaderboards. I'm not pretending to play this champion and know exactly how it's built. Just go to the
So
leaderboards. Go look at
all
the
the
top Urgots. Yeah,
players are
go look.
bad. I'm gonna tell you right now. We could go to the leaderboard. All the
Yeah.
Urgot players are bad. Builds are ass, bro. For example, I'm gonna tell you right now. The only good item in this build is Black Cleaver. That's Black Cleaver and Sterox are like Urgot's bread and butter items. I'm gonna tell you right now. The reason I lose some games is because I don't go to that core item build. And I say it's Black Cleaver and Sterox because Black Cleaver, for example, he applies the armor shred almost instantly with his W. Sterox builds off of HP, which he loves. The only reason I don't go Heartsteel, let's go to the Heartsteel item. How do you go to the actual item so you can read the description? You already know that it got a range like it says it right here, range champion. Oh no, it doesn't say about the range champions, but the range damage, if you do the math, he's doing no damage with these two items, the Titanic and the Heartsteel. He does no damage, bro. And I know he's not meant for damage, but he still gets one shot when you face anything with any form of true damage or max HP. So I'm trying to figure out, obviously I most likely won't figure out a build because Urgot is not a jungler, like I said, and I run him like an assassin sometimes. So
I
there's that.
think I think it's fine if you're not going Heartsteel because it's kind of not the best for clear speed anyway, and you're not really like a ganking jungler. So I think it's fine to go damage items. I think Black Cleaver seems like a fine
Black Cleaver does seem
first
like my.
item.
If we go to my match history, I do have the most success with Black Cleaver, actually. So the games I run Black Cleaver, I generally play a little better. The scores aren't the best, but my damage numbers are up, and I win the games more. But right now, I'm telling you that Titanic Hydra, when I run it in Heartsteel, first of all, when you run Heartsteel first, you're basically handicapping yourself for the first 9 minutes of the
But your
game.
clear is going to be very bad. I'm fine with you doing Cleaver first. Like I said, this is not like a
Yeah.
champion
I
I pretend to play.
Cleaver.
If you want to go for Cleaver and Sterix first two items, it's mostly
Yeah.
fine. The only problem with Sterix first is or Sterix second, I mean, is if they have anti-shield. So I would say
Absolutely.
if you go for Sterix, or if you go for Cleaver, Sterix, and Death Dance, again, like this is like a weird champion. It's not obviously like meta, but like
Yeah, Death Dance does work on Urgot because
yeah.
I do, for example, my ruin page, I change it up a lot. Right now I'm running Triumph, and Triumph has been helping me. It's my first time running Triumph. Normally I run like Brutal or maybe the Resolve tree, but
I also wouldn't go Grasp and Jungle because you can't proc it like at
the
all.
only reason I was trying out Grass. I try first. Normally, I run First Strike or Empowerment, or I try. I don't run one build specifically. I tried Grass for the last few games for the simple fact that it stacks HP and it gives me a little bit of sustain. But Grass isn't optimal at all. I don't like using Grass.
I mean, just
I
run
normally
Empowerment then. Like
I run Empowerment if I'm versus a comp that I'm gonna hit a lot, if that makes any sense. Like that I could just stick on. Since Urgot slows himself, and before this patch hits, the slow stack, that
mhm.
it's not fun chasing people down with empowerment and getting killed in one shot. So I run first strike to basically get all the damage off and help my teammates do more damage because first strike increases damage they take all around.
I mean, your champion's
Plus, it
very
gives me gold
clunky. It's very hard to
when I
get.
take.
It's very hard to
What is
get
that?
first strike procs with such a clunky champion. Like you're,
Yeah,
if you're
I,
into a
I
comp
rely
that you're not
mainly
able
when
to
my
stick
flash
onto,
is
you're
up.
probably not going to be able to proc
Yeah,
first strike
yeah,
that much.
yeah, my ganks are basically useless if my flash isn't up, and I use basically flash aggressively, and I never have an escape. So
Yeah, I mean,
there's
like you should probably run Empowerment most games. You should run Giant Slayer
yeah,
most games. It's way more damage than Last Stand, unless they have like zero tanks. Obviously, if they have zero
yeah. That's
tanks, you're
that's that's why I had
yeah.
the last few games. It was
No,
all squishies, so I
and
really
that's fine. Yeah.
and
Um,
it synergizes sometimes with Therax.
yeah.
So,
And
but
tenacity, you should be
I
switching
prefer
tenacity
Giant Slayer.
obviously when you don't need. You should probably just go the life steal when you don't need tenacity.
So I
Oh,
don't
that is the life steal. Or
lifesteal.
maybe switch
I
to.
like lifesteal as a concept, but Urgot, like I said, gets penalized for using everything for some reason. The lifesteal on his W doesn't really work well. If you
Yeah,
get what I'm
but I
saying.
don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna rely on attack speed because a lot of your damage is not from autos, which
Yeah,
is why I'm saying. And obviously, you're not gonna use tenacity if they don't have CC. So I'm
auto a
fine with
lot.
you defaulting to tenacity. I'm just saying when they don't have it. Um, yeah, I mean, if you go for Cleaver, Sterix, and Death Dance most games,
How do you
and
feel about Conqueror? Because Conqueror also stacks up my AD and makes me do a lot of damage. The only issue is the vamp is basically useless.
yeah, like I said, I'm not really a Urgot player, which is why like I've been looking up what other Urgots are
Nobody,
doing, and I've been
or
like, oh, like a lot of them
that.
are going empowerment. I'm fine with going conquer. It sounds better than what you call it, the one you're going, or
So
it's
you
the
want me
one
to,
I'm going.
or you want me to play a match, a old
Yeah,
match?
no, we're gonna go into a replay. I just want to talk
All right.
about the build, but you need to stop going like Sunfire first every game and like playing like this weird build because you're doing no damage and your build is going to be a problem. Like I said, you can do whatever is fun for you, but if you want to climb on Urgot, you're going to probably need to start doing the similar
Like,
build every time.
yeah, you're right about that. It's very hard to find a play style with him when I keep changing the build up.
Yeah, and then also you should probably go for Gargoyle, not the little dash Gale Force.
Gargoyle, that's stasis enchant.
No, Gargoyle is the
That's
shield.
the one that gives you that makes you big. All right, the
Yeah,
shield.
yeah.
Uh,
I would say if they have anti-shield, obviously don't do that, and you can do whatever.
I can go Gargoyle, but in Master Elo, I run into a lot of Canes and Viegos that run that stupid Serpent's Fang,
Well,
but
Viego
I
doesn't really
can't go
build
Gargoyle.
Serpent's Fang. I don't know why you're
He
saying
does
Viego
it.
does,
He
but
does it. But in low Elo, they all build bad, just like me.
I think that
Like
I honestly think you might just be getting confused by Collector looking like Serpents or Viego. Maybe not,
the
but
other
yeah,
issue with Viego is the
game
items
does.
he transforms into you. So I might be getting confused with the. When you look at the items and he transforms it,
Maybe.
the item changes
But yeah,
into
we've talked about build a lot. I think we've got the gist of it, right?
But let's go into a replay.
Yeah.
You could pick
No,
whichever
no.
replay.
So what do you feel like are your normal issues in games? You said GPM, so find me a game where you felt like you just got outpaced.
But
I,
even
I
when
don't
I'm
know. I didn't watch your games, like I don't know
I,
what happened in these games.
I'm
So
trying to explain. Even when I'm winning, I feel like I get smoked, bro.
you can show a game
All
that's a
right.
win. That's okay. I just need to see a game where you tell me your problem is getting outpaced. You don't have these replays, by the way. Um,
I don't have these replays,
you
so
have the
as the
replays with the thing. Yeah, you have these
yeah.
ones. Um,
I don't know which one to pick. I could pick whichever one. I'll pick a W first. Like this one, I feel like I did good because I've played around my team.
all right. Okay, so first thing is just immediately deciding pathing. Like you should path towards Ezreal and Lux, obviously here because Maokai
Oh,
and
that.
Nautilus. Yeah, what's
So
up?
I have learning impairment. I know
Yeah,
you're supposed to have a routine and pick your plan out. I do try to plan out what I'm gonna do in the next 5 minutes of the match,
yeah.
but sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing, and my pathing gets distracted with trying to play Captain Saberhole and save the bot lane or something. But I believe I do path towards Ezreal and Lux this game.
Okay, so another issue is that you're going for this ward instead of doing just control ward your
Yeah,
own camp and then clear.
I realized I was
Um,
already on a in game, so I
what's
see
up?
that's a mistake already.
Yeah, yeah.
I already see that I'm a vision through that control word. I didn't
And
even know that
then
was it.
and then yeah, you're not really starting on a buff. You're getting distracted by, and this is I mean this is gonna be why your GPM is gonna be low. Is you're gonna
Yeah,
chase these types
right.
of kills. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like every once in a while it will work out. You get a kill and then you're gonna be like, oh, like I should have done that. But yeah, sorry, you're kind of cutting out. You are we good?
Yeah, it's my phone. I'm sorry. I'll let you talk and I'll listen to
No,
you.
no, you're
If
free
I
to talk whenever. It's better if you talk and ask questions and whatever when you have them. But yeah, no, I just wanted to make
but
sure
I
you could
should have
hear
been
me.
farming this part.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
mean, this is why you tell me your champion is like slow pace or is like hard to keep up in pacing, but you're 1 minute into the game and you're still level one. Like very clearly, I can already tell you're a player who gets distracted. You kind of like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
go fight, and you said that you do.
Yeah.
And so the simple thing for you is like, yeah, you said you have your own playstyle. You have the own way or your own way you want to play the game. That's fine. You don't have to play like Vi jungle every game in order to climb. Just because that's what I do, you don't have to do that. You can climb with Urgot jungle. I'm very confident that if I started one-tricking Urgot, I would get sovereign. Even if I played a jungle, I could probably play mid lane too. The problem is you do two camps, then you go to scuttle instead of doing your camps, and so now your entire I don't know how long does a full clear take for Urgot jungle. Obviously I don't play it, so like roughly
Minute 50 if you're optimal.
a minute 50. Okay, so
Like go
that's
full. And
perfectly fine. Like that's not a bad full clear. Like I think Vi will take me usually 135 to 140 roughly. I don't know exactly, but like Vi is a really fast clear. Like you're not a slow clear. So you can do a normal full clear. You're at 150. Instead, at 150, you've only cleared two camps. So you have lost out on 600 gold. Roughly a 150 gold per camp. You lost 600 gold and you don't have a red buff. And then not only have you lost out on that 600 gold, but your camps now take additional time to respawn. Because if you clear a camp, obviously at 1 minute, it'll respawn around 3. If you clear it at 2 minutes, it's not going to respawn until closer to 4. Do you know how long it takes a camp to respawn?
like 2 minutes maybe.
It takes a minute 50 seconds for small camps, like everything that's not a buff, and then buffs take 230. And so I'll write these things down for you, by the way. Like obviously you don't have to memorize it all.
Yeah, that's another issue. Remember, there's a lot of input into League and to Wild Rift, so you got to remember a lot. Like,
And
so
so the way we're
I get
gonna
caught up with everything.
approach that again is I'm going to write down for you very specific things for you to focus on. And I want you before every session or before every game, however you prefer it, I want you to look at that before you play. So we're going to write
Absolutely.
down, you know, like the first thing I want you to do is determine your pathing before the game starts. And we'll give you time. You said you kind of have a hard time keeping track of it all. So we'll just give you like very specific times. Like I'll write like at the start of the game, you know, before the game actually starts. And I don't know why you flashed, by the way, that was random.
I
But
thought so in my head, I didn't
yeah.
have vision there. I thought Master Yi was on his blue, and I was trying to be fancy and catch him off guard.
Okay,
I was kind
so
of upset that he kept trying to invade and take my camps too, and stealing my camps. So that was an emotion play.
yeah, and he can never invade you if we're efficient, which is obviously kind of something
Yeah,
we've
I'm
talked about a
not.
lot. And then yeah, I don't want you making a play based on like there's no reason to use our flash for something we don't know is going to work out. We need to make a lot more guaranteed plays because I mean, click on your gold right now. Like what's your gold relative to Master Yi? So you're 2-0, and your gold is only 150 above him. Like, if you're
Yeah,
two
that's
and
the
zero
issue.
as a jungler, you should be way ahead. Like, this should never, you know, really be possible.
That's normally what I run into. I would be ahead in kills often, but my gold is just lacking.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like, you know how to play your champion, and you're obviously trying to force a lot of fights. But yeah, you're gonna fall behind in gold because we're just not farming our camp. So very simply, again, I'm gonna explain it to you now, and we'll write it down later. But the first, you know, very start of the game, I want you to just think, where do I path? Then when it comes to the early game, for the first minute and 50 seconds or however long, I want you to maybe go into practice tool and practice your full clear to make sure you can get
Okay.
it properly. And then I just want you to full clear every single time. Like, eventually you can start deciding in some games to do 5 camp instead of 6 camp, but for the first 20 to 30 games, I want you to build the habit of just full clearing is my default no matter what. It's not about winning every single game and doing the optimal thing right away. It's about building a habit of doing something so that that's our default. And then once you do the correct thing, which is a full clear, you can start to deviate once you realize like it makes sense in this specific game to not full clear, which is usually going to be just like you see a really easy gank and you're level 4. You're usually not going to be ganking level 3 regardless because you are a clunky champion who has bad ganks early.
Yes, he's very slow until
Yeah.
level 9.
Yeah, and so we're really trying to get to level 9. I don't even know what happens at level 9, honestly. What happens at level 9?
So
I don't.
the way Urgot works, his purge applies a self slow,
Yeah.
like the active applies a self slow, and it gets less in the higher level you are. It scales with level for some reason,
Okay.
along with his damage, this damage scaling. And it also applies on hits at a better extent the higher level it is. So
Okay, well our goal is to get to level 9 then, and level 8 is
yeah,
very easy to get before Dragon. Luckily here you got 5 kill participation, so you get level 8. Normally, you know, your average game you're not going to have 5 kill participation while
yes, I know.
not farming this well. And so yeah, change up the build, make sure we look to where to path every game, early game, make sure we default to full clearing, and then yes, so we full clear, we're going to do that at, let's say 150, you try to grab Scuttle if it's up. If Scuttle's not up, you're probably going to recall and go to the other Scuttle. If Scuttle is up, you'll take Scuttle, and then you'll have about 20 seconds where you can look for a gank. Then you make sure you go back to the other side of the map by 2:30, because around 2 minutes and 30 seconds is when your camps are going to start coming back up on the other side. That way you won't get invaded. And then you're going to, once you clear those camps, you can stay there until about 3:45 or so. Then you got to go back to your other side. Then you do that side. Again, you clear those camps. You can then look for a gank. And then 5 minutes, you go back to your final side. Obviously, you can recall when you need to spend your gold and whatnot. But these are the rough times that I want you to be at certain parts of the map. And the reason that's important is because then you can't get invaded by a Master Yi because you're going to be there clearing your camps as soon as they spawn. You're going to have more gold, which is going to make your ganks more likely to work out. Because if you have additional gold, obviously it's a lot easier for ganks to actually work out. If we have a build that's actually damage focused, we're going to have better clear speed and better ganking.
I was gonna ask that another well-performing build I have is Urgot's Lethality build. Like I'll go Black Cleaver into Umos, into like Edge of Night and stuff, and that actually performs very well for me. The issue with that is I have to be ahead and proactive with that. I have to full clear into a gank every time.
I mean, that to me, like, again, I'm not going to pretend to know your champion super well, but, like, I don't think that sounds very good because, again, when I'm such a clunky champion, I don't really want to be super squishy too, which like you're gonna be a
Yeah,
lot
I don't
squishier.
like. That's the only reason I don't run that build because you have to be the engage with that build, and Urgot's more like a engage neutralizer, if
Yeah,
that
which
makes
is
any
why the Bruiser build, you go Cleaver, you go Sterix, you go Death Dance, and then you go Twin
sense.
Guard and whatever tank items. It sounds fine. Again, like I don't know if it's as good as the Heartsteel build. I don't. But you say you don't want to go it, so I think that's a fine build instead. So yeah, I mean, I think that should be fine. Um, and then yeah, I mean, this one you force another fight. There's not really that much to talk about with this because again, it's just like you have
Yeah, I
multiple
forced a lot of
camps.
dumb fights. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
you
lie,
have two
bro.
camps
I
up.
play with my emotions.
You have two camps up, and you're kind of getting distracted going to the Yi. You're eventually gonna go here, but
And he clears very fast at this point too. That's where I
yeah.
start losing it.
And you can pull down the scoreboard, by the way. I don't need to see it the whole time.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, you see, you walk by your Gromp for no reason. It takes you say you have a fast clear, and then you don't go and do your Gromp right
Clear,
away.
yeah. Doesn't make any sense not
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, and so I mean you can tell. And again, you're just kind of forcing random fights. So before we go in for a fight, also I want you to kind of ask yourself like, where are my teammates? How likely is this to work out? How's the enemy going to respond?
That's the issue I have. I get one track minded. That's why my name is one unibrow, one IQ, because I play very aggressive and I tunnel vision sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
you
don't
also could have
need.
got that top wave, by the way. Like after you went on that guy, there was a full top wave you could have taken. And remember, after 6 minutes, you can take all the waves you want when your teammates aren't there. None of your teammates were there. Like even mid right now, you see how nobody's on this mid wave?
Yeah.
That's your wave, not go and invade for no reason. Like we don't need to be forcing a bunch of invades when mid's not push or when we can get gold from our camps or like those types of things. Because again, it's just kind of forcing random fights. Like yes, you got to kill, but one of your teammates died too, and that's
I guess I'm a dopamine whore.
yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, that seems yeah. You are very focused on fighting, and it is a champion that's a bit weird to play, but you can play it like the normal macro. Like your champ, like Urgot jungle was a thing for a while.
Champ loves macro. Like
Yeah.
the number one Urgot in like the League of Legends, like the actual game, he loves. He's very macro orientated. He doesn't even like forcing fights. He just normally finishes the match with like 2 kills, 3 kills, and still gets like very much value from Urgot. But
Yeah.
I played a lot badly.
And here again,
Very
there's
bad.
a mid wave, right? Like you, instead of getting your blue buff right away, you could have got mid wave then blue buff. The reason it makes more sense to do that is because otherwise your teammate's going to get there eventually. And again, our goal is to get as much gold as possible. So right now, like our red side's up and we're going for a top side fight. This is again just unnecessary.
So
Your
I should
teammate.
play more greedy, you're saying? Because sometimes, for example, let's say I have a Fed or a high level ADC, I would let him like steal my camps.
Okay,
You
so
know what I'm saying?
if you had me on your team, right? Just hypothetically,
Yes.
do you think that I would need an extra camp or two to carry you, or you think I would carry you anyways?
No.
Yeah, I would carry you anyways, and when you're not being efficient, I'll take your camps anyway. Like
That's how I feel about when they steal. Because another thing is, it could be 3 minutes in, they're already saying report jungle.
because
like-
of why? Because of not getting ganked, you mean?
No, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, let's say it's 3 minutes in the match, and I'm just now doing my first full clear. It'll be already be like 0-3, and they're already saying report jungle.
Yeah. Okay. Like I don't care what they say. You know, like mute.
Yeah, I don't care what they say either, but
Mute them.
they start
They're gonna-
stealing camps and stuff. Am I supposed to just steal their way back?
If they steal
Like-
camps, then they steal camps, and you just play and get the camps that are up. Like there's nothing specific
Yeah,
you can
that's
do.
what I normally do too. I don't do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
try
you
to blame
just-
my teammates, but a lot of the matches that I go through, there's a lot of finger pointing with players, and I don't like typing. You know, it takes a lot of time. Like,
Yeah, I mean there is an ever and here, by the way, I just want to point out you should just be going and getting Baron right now. I mean their jungler is dead, and you guys have killed multiple
yeah, I
people.
don't know why I listened to Israel's call then, but
Yeah, and it's not the end of the world, but no,
I
like
know.
in terms of the blaming thing, like yeah, like mute chat, turn on party chat, just don't listen to them, and it is what it is. You know? Like yeah, like people blame all the time. I get blamed all the time, and like obviously sometimes it's my fault, but a lot of times like yeah, I'm just like playing properly, and then they blame me anyway. It's gonna happen, and if you let that dictate how you're gonna play, like it's gonna
Absolutely.
be a problem. But no, I mean as it relates to this gameplay again, the main things are.
Yeah.
You need to be more efficient, fix the build, think at level 1 where we want to path, or think before the game even where we want to path. Make sure we understand those timers, which again I will write down for you. And then when it comes to the mid game, again, just make sure when there's no objective up, and when there's no objective within the next minute, that our first goal is to farm camps. Then once camps are farmed, we push waves. Once waves are pushed, then we can fight. It's that simple. So early game, you're not trying to push waves. It's just farm camps, then we can gank after. Once we're in the mid game, which is 6 to 11 minutes, we want to make sure that we also push out the waves before we really fight. And then the only exception to this is if an objective is up within a minute. So if dragon is spawning in a minute, I guess they FF'd. If dragon is spawning in a minute, then you can go and fight because you're trying to get control over the objective, right? Usually it's more like 30 seconds, but as long as we reset properly for the objective and whatnot, that's kind of going to be fine. And then 11 to 19 minutes, when Baron's up, it's a lot more about getting the farm around the Baron side of the map, so like our Baron side camps. And then we mostly hover Baron and make sure to try to get that. That all makes sense, or any questions on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I'll copy paste them in the DMs. I'm just going to write it here initially. And so everything I write, if something doesn't make sense or it's unclear to you or whatever, just let me know. Yeah, like interrupt me, whatever, anytime. I want to make sure I'm recording. I am recording, so yeah.
Absolutely.
First thing is, so, and we wanted to kind of, again, make it very like streamlined. So before game starts, so we'll try to write it in order of what we want to do. So like before game starts,
Full clear.
no, but before the game starts, we want to determine jungle pathing, and then determine jungle pathing, and then we'll write, so determine jungle pathing based on these factors. Have you like seen kind of the typical things I tell people to look at, or?
You said look for the stronger lane. For example, if I have a lane that likes to fight a lot, I should path towards that lane. So if my bot lane is strong, I should start at blue side.
Yeah, so the main things are, and then jungle matchup is the last one. So stronger lane, so whoever has a win, like you want to go to a winning lane when you can. So it's not about who wants to fight more, it's about winning lane, this first point. Just like, you know, Karma, Ezreal, they beat Vayne, Yumi, or whatever.
Okay.
Their gank setup is obviously, they have CC, right? Like a Leona, yeah, whatever. Volatility is that they want to fight more. Volatility means maybe it's not a winning lane, but there's going to be a lot of fucking fighting. There's going to be a Darius and there's going to be a Set, and they're going to hit each other a lot. I don't know who's going to win, but they're going to hit each other a lot. And so they're going to be lower health, and that maybe helps too. And then jungle matchup, of course, if you know, say, Zed paths, you know, Zed starts blue buff, and you know, like, well, I want to match the Zed, so I'm going to start red so I can match him. You could do that. Depends on the game. And that's rare, more rare that you're going to do this, but the first three are really the points that matter a lot. And they're mostly in order of what matters the most. Stronger lane's the most important. Better gank setup, second most important. Volatility is like if they're close and you can't decide. So if it's like each lane, both sides, you're like, oh, I could path towards either. Which one's gonna fight more? That's kind of where that goes. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So then now we need to determine what do we want to do at the start of the game. So from 0 minutes. Oh, well, actually, I do need to write this at the very start of the game. At the start of the game, what am I trying to? Control ward opposite side, right? You know what I mean by this?
Yeah. When you ward the opposite side, then base
Then
and
recall
choice.
and get sweeper.
Yeah.
Then go to the opposite side. So you need to do this instead of the weird stuff you do at the start, because that's risky, and yeah, we don't want to do that. So that's the very start. And then
That's a very nice way of putting it. Weird stuff. I know that's the nicest way you could put it. Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. It's just weird. I just use the word weird a lot. I can call it fucking stupid shit if you want to. Like whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
You know?
I know. That's what I knew you meant that.
Yeah. From 20 seconds to 2 minutes, then full clear, right? Then. And again, I'm gonna write this. You said you kind of have trouble like sticking to something, so we'll write it very like.
No,
obviously,
the good thing is the routine and writing it down. I can get it down pack after a few games. So
yeah, and the
I'll
thing is,
apply
though,
it to my game. That's
I want to make
basically
it clear.
how I prove.
I want to make it clear that initially you can like religiously follow this, but go watch me play a game. You're not gonna see this exact time. You're gonna see roughly these timers, but like, of course, some games I'm like, oh no, I can camp this guy more. And so initially, I want you to like obsess over this, but then once it's ingrained into you, I do want you to go, you know, occasionally you can give up a camp in order to get a gank if like the enemy are low and the jungle's on the opposite side and the wave is crashing, and like there's all these factors that like additionally you're going to take into account. But for now, it's more important that you get stuff down every game. So then from 2 minutes to 2:30 and look for gank. Then from 230 to 345. Go back to other side. Farm. And gank that side when camp's not up. Then from 345, 5 minutes. Gonna be the same thing basically. Go back to original side and then farm and gank that side when camp's not up. Do you have questions about this stuff or no?
No, I follow most of this advice already because you preach
Yeah.
it like the gospel, and I love it.
Yeah, from 5 minutes onwards, go back to final side. Did I write this right? So what, we go back? We go back to original side here. So I wrote it wrong, but it's fine. And then we go back 5 minutes onwards, go back to final side, clear, then set up for objective. By recalling and spending gold. Spending gold, then go to objective of stronger laner. Actually, I'll write this separately so we have, again, more specific. So around 5:30 is when we're going to reset.
So
and
we're
then
controlling the camera. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
We're controlling the camera. Like, what is your advice on that? Like, my controls are kind of weird. I don't know if I should. For example, Urgot ult, it never pans my camera for some reason, and it's a long range ult.
Oh, that's
Do
probably
I
the
have to use it?
setting. That's a aim panning, I think is the setting called.
Yeah, I have it on, and it never. I guess Urgot ult is bugged. It works with Luxol. It works with everything else. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't work with Urgot ult.
I don't know then. I have no idea. That's
So,
weird.
so should
And
I use the semi-lock camera instead? Because right now I got the semi-lock camera off, and should I
yeah,
just be moving the camera preemptively myself?
no, you should definitely have semi-lock camera, like regardless of the alt thing. It's just
Okay,
more useful in many, like
yeah.
there were many cases, and we'll just write like the simple like better camera control as well. But the problem for you is like you didn't know how low someone was. Like even like I'm not always semi-lock camera only shifts your camera up a little or down a little. Like your champ is still on the screen. But there's times where the enemy were fighting like, you know, a screen or two away from you, and you had no idea what was going on because you didn't scroll your map.
Yeah,
Like I'm
this is
scrolling my
my
actual
brain
map there.
capabilities.
Yeah, and that's just something like that comes with time. You know, you play the game more, you get used to it. It's not really it's not something for me to harp on that much or give you that
But
much
that's
specific
something I
advice
gotta
for.
pay more attention to. What
Yeah,
are
yeah.
my
Be
teammate
conscious about
statuses?
that, and it'll be
What
useful.
are my
But again,
teammates doing? Where they at?
yeah, because
With
you have a lot of random flashes too. Just like stop with random flashes. It's a very simple thing, but
I think
I need you to have a specific reason for why you're flashing. Like I'm flashing to stop this ability, or I know he dies. But we need to make sure like you flash onto a quirky with W, who's also not even fully in range, right? So like
yeah,
spell
I
tracking as
know.
well, right? But
Absolutely. So that's the issue. I come from like a Call of Duty fighting game background. I never played a MOBA. MOBAs are very different. Like
yeah, they're definitely very different.
my
I mean,
first one, like, but
um,
getting better though. Thank you.
yeah, there's still more to talk about.
I'm listening.
So the next things are kind of the six. So this like entire these last couple things are more just like separate, but these are all the timer things for the early game, and then again like the timers now for the later parts of the game is basically from 6 minutes to and obviously 6 minutes is actually just when dragon dies. It's not literally 6, but so whenever the dragon slash herald are dead, from 6 minutes to 10 minutes, mostly farm camps. Push waves past the midpoint. Do you know what I mean by the midpoint? Like as in they're in the middle of the lane or no?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so first farm camps, then so I'll write
Push waves.
then look for outer turrets, then you finally get to do all your stupid fighting for no reason, then finally we can fight. And again, this is not every time. Sometimes you'll see me fighting when there is a wave and not pushed. It's just this is a majority of the time, and because you don't have these habits built up, even though you tell me like, oh, I do these things that you say because you don't.
I don't know why I gotta
a
do
lot.
what. Basically, I
Yeah,
don't have my
and a lot of times you
reasoning.
don't. I mean, like you were fighting for no reason. Like you get distracted a lot, even if like you start with the idea of, oh, I'm going to do a talent set, you get distracted all the time. And so that's why
Yeah.
I need you more than the average person to obsess over this and like only do it. Like even when you think it's the wrong thing, just do it anyways. And then
Okay.
again, not forever. I'm telling you to build this habit initially. And then once this habit is built, then we can be like, okay, now I'm going to start slowly going back to like a more balance. Because if you're doing everything at this exact time, you're on the very far right of the spectrum of being like perfectly efficient. But being perfectly efficient is inefficient because then you don't get as many ganks or as many kills. Or so eventually there's a balance we have to find. That's kind of difference. Like I was sovereign
That's the
jungler,
next step. Yeah.
and then when I went from sovereign jungle to getting rank 1 like last season, the biggest difference for me was more volatility, more fighting, more like deviating from the best thing to do, you know, like doing basically being more creative. And again, that's something that you should work on after you've gotten the proper
The
things down.
fundamental.
Yeah, because if
That's
you don't have
the
the
issue. I'm
fundamentals
here
down,
trying to
then
be
you don't even
creative, and
know.
I don't know what anything does.
Yeah, and so that, yeah, that's the gist of it. Again, then from 10 minutes to, oh, this is, I forgot to mention the dragon, unless drag is spawning. Well, I guess drag usually spawns after at like 10 minutes onwards. 10 minutes to 11 minutes. Prepare for dragon slash baron. Basically, prepare means recall, ward, spend our gold, you know, push the waves out, just basic things like that. But you don't have to farm as much when there's an objective soon. You can still farm if you got nothing else to do, but it's okay to be slightly more inefficient during those types of times. Then from 11 minutes onward, mostly farm our Baron side camps and focus on control around Baron.
So after 11 minutes, Baron is more important than Dragon.
Infinitely more important. Obviously, Elder Dragon is at 19 minutes. I think you know that, and of course that matters. I don't think I even need to write that. But before that, yes, like Baron is always more important than Dragon. Even if you can get Baron and they get Soul, that's usually positive. Obviously, ideally you don't give them Soul, but most of the time, Baron's
That's
almost always
rare.
more valuable. What's up?
No, that's rare. Normally we flip objectives, and one team has one dragon, one team has another dragon. It's rare to get soul. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, yeah. Well, like if you can, if you're stronger too, and Baron and Dragon are up, and the enemy are clearly going Dragon, you can go Dragon because you want to fight. So like, Dragon is a means to fight. It's not actually an objective. Like it's a bait objective. Like people think it matters, but like the reality is, and I can just write this down. You know, use Dragon to fight when stronger, and ignore it when weaker, unless Soul sometimes. And the reason I say sometimes is because if you're down 35,000 gold, or by 35, I mean, if you're down like 10,000 gold or 5,000 gold, you know you can't win a fight, you can just give up the soul and try to like flip Baron. But if you're down like 2k and there's a decent chance you still win, then you can maybe contest the soul.
okay.
These are probably the main things that matter. I don't know if you want me to write any of the support stuff down.
No, that's all right.
All right.
That's
Then do you have any
I'll
other
pay for another coaching
questions?
section for that.
I guess we'll do the build stuff quick too, though. The build is just,
Black Cleaver into Sterak seems to be the right choice because Urgot's purely physical. The only reason I play around with Sunfire just and Grass too is because Urgot's purely physical and it helps like not itemize against his damage sometimes.
yeah, and I think that's probably not needed. I think like yeah, this is better. And besides, the cleaver is
Yeah.
giving pen and whatever. And yeah, like I said, honestly, I'm not gonna pretend to know that this is definitely like the best jungle build. There's
That's
probably
why I'm
better
not going
ones.
to for builds. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not the point. But it still does like this is definitely gonna be better than all the builds you've been doing. I don't know if it's optimal, but it's gonna be better than those at the very least. And yeah, do you have any other questions? Anything at all?
No, I'm good. I just want you to have a good day. I'm about to get dressed and get ready for work.